Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Friday. Wait, not Friday. Happy February. Happy Black History Month. Thank you so much for watching this live. If you are watching me live, type live in the comment section. If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay because I got some things to share with you on today. Some of you saw my post last night and some of you did not. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my heart. And I want y'all to hear me out on this, okay? Some people may take offense to it. And my goal is not to offend you. My goal is to educate you and empower you and give you more insight on how our faith and our finances have a lot to do with our history, with our upbringing, with conditioning, with systems and principalities and high places that actually give us, especially us as Black people, the mindset that we have about things. Some things are generationally passed down, and it's not necessarily a curse. It's just a way of thinking because of what has been programmed. And so I'm going to share some things with you in this video, and I want you to comment. I don't want you to be offended, but if you are offended, just know it's coming from a good place. If you've never watched me before, if you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. Terry Alford. I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist, and I specialize in helping business owners build wealth and financial freedom so that we can live, lead, and leave multi-million-dollar legacies. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's what I'm about. I have my own community called Business Women Building Wealth. You can go to jointerry.com and become plugged into the community. I have my own agency. It's called TNA Financial Group, where we specialize in helping business owners and professionals build and lead and live and lead multi-million-dollar legacies and retire wealthy. So if you're here, thank you for being here. Okay. So here's what I want to say. I get annoyed sometimes. I get triggered sometimes, but they don't know it. People don't know when they're on my live or they talking to me on the phone. They don't know I get triggered sometimes when they say, "Oh, I just need a little $5,000 policy, little $10,000 policy, just enough to bury them, just enough to bury them, just enough, just a little policy." I understand having a budget. And if you have a budget, just know I do not want you to go over your budget. I do not want you to cancel your policy. I don't want your policy to lapse. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, I know a lot of times when people say, "Oh, we just gonna get a little policy, just enough to bury, just a couple burial expenses." A lot of times it comes from the place that that's the only thing that life insurance is for. And I am here to tell you that's conditioned. That has been conditioned for a lot of people through many generations. I am here to tell you that the reason I get triggered sometimes is because until 1964, not that long ago, until 1964, if you were a Black insurance policy owner, you were most likely charged 30% more for the same policy as a white individual. But then again, it wasn't the same policy. It had 2/3 of the value. So your cash value, your death benefit, it didn't do what the other ones did for the white people, because guess what? There were two rating systems. And this started around 1881. Prudential had a statistician that said, "Hey, Black people are genetically inferior to white people. Therefore, there should be a different rating system. Therefore, Black people should not be able to get the same type of coverage or the same amount of coverage as white people." And other insurance companies said, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna co-sign on that. We're gonna co-sign on that. We agree to that." Oh, look at the enemy. Says, "Looks like your camera was unplugged." Okay, look. We're going to go back on camera. Oh, something's happening with my camera. Oh, I'm going to finish this live. The devil is a lie. I will switch cameras. One moment. See, y'all see this is not pre-recorded. This is really live. We'll use this camera. Ha ha ha. Look, that's why you always have to have a backup for the backup. I don't know what was happening with my other camera, if it got too hot or what. But anyway, as I was saying, Prudential had a statistician back in the day that said, Black people are inferior to white people, so they should not be rated the same. They should not be able to get more than just enough to cover burial expenses. Black people can get burial expense insurance and they can get industrial insurance. But that insurance that leave their families millions of dollars, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not trying to help them build generational wealth. We want to widen this wealth gap. So we're going to give them these little policies, just enough to bury them, just enough to cover final expenses. Because even though we set up life insurance to help us mitigate the risk and to recover the loss of losing a breadwinner, losing financial support that will come into the household if one of the spouses die, we don't want the surviving spouse to be able to have a come up. We don't want the children to be able to have extra money. We want them to struggle because we believe that Black people are inferior to white people. And that's how it's been. So a lot of times when people think that life insurance is a scam and they're African American, it's because they may have learned about a policy that their great-great-grandmother had or their great-great-grandfather had, and what they thought they were going to have in coverage, they didn't. Or what they thought the policy was going to do, it did not. Part of the reason that happened is because there were different types of policies that were available for white people versus Black people. Can you imagine paying into a policy thinking that it's going to do one thing and it doesn't do that thing because you are simply African American? Can you imagine a world where our sharecropping ancestors, some of them are still living, they're not even ancestors, they're still living, our generations, a few generations back, we're not talking about hundreds of generations back, we're talking about 2 to 3 generations back, we're talking about 3 to 4 generations back. If they had policies where they had death benefits that were $250,000, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, what would that do? What will that have done for us today? Will we still have to get it out the mud today? Like, just imagine all of those people who work diligently for us to enjoy the freedoms that we have as African Americans in this country. Now, we're not completely free. That's another conversation for another live. But just imagine if all of those people that were killed, unjustly killed in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, if every insurance company had to give their families $1 million as the death benefit. Yeah. Y'all think this is about life insurance. It's so much bigger than just life insurance. So when people come to me and they're like, oh, I just want enough to bury them, I'm like, how about we get a little bit more than that? I don't want you to just have enough to cover burial. Can we at least give you enough money to be able to grieve a little bit, right? So you can take some months off of work so you can get yourself together. I hope you don't have to go through probate court, but if you got to do that, you need time for that. If you need to take off work, if you need to take a vacation, if you need to, give your kids an incredible experience, let's have a little bit more money than just enough to bury somebody, right? You need time to heal. You need time to heal. You deserve to have something called accelerated living benefits life insurance. So if you become ill with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, you can pull money from your life insurance instead of having to pull money from your hard-earned savings, your hard-earned retirement plan. Accelerated living benefits life insurance is available for everybody. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, African, Brazilian. Life insurance is for everybody. It's available. It's available. And you will not get declined based on your race. I know that now. I've done more life insurance applications than I can count. And race is not a question that is asked. When you get an annuity, when you sign up for your pension plan, when you sign up for an IRA, they do not ask you your race on the application. Because you can't be declined based on race anymore. You can't be limited to how much coverage you get based on race anymore. If you meet with me and you're a business owner, I'm going to encourage you to get $1 million worth of life insurance. If you can afford it, if you can medically qualify for it. If you cannot, then we'll see how much you can get approved for. But I just love when I write a $1 million application for $1 million policy. I'm like, yes, sir. That's what we're doing because we're Black history, right? I am Black history. I love doing the things that I am privileged to do now. And I am able to show honor for people who fought. Do y'all understand that this was not that long ago? In 1964, the Civil Rights Act allowed us to not just have freedom from discrimination in some places, but also in the insurance industry. It's illegal for insurance companies to do that now. You didn't even know that was a thing. You're like, Terry, it's just life insurance. No, it's not. It is not just life insurance. It's about generational wealth. It's about narrowing or expanding the wealth gap. It is about conditioning people to think that a tool that has established old money for years, for decades, for centuries is a scam. So we do not use that as a cheat code to building wealth. That's what it's about. You think it's about life insurance. It's not just about life insurance. Life insurance companies are powerful. They are so powerful that during the Great Depression, when the banks were in trouble, people depended on the life insurance companies. The life insurance companies helped save the Great Depression. As a matter of fact, banks purchase bank-owned and invest in bank-owned life insurance right now. And there's over $200 billion of cash value in bank-owned life insurance. You want to become your own bank? You want to be the bank? You want to act like a bank? Then guess what? You got to have life insurance. Like, it's not just about life insurance. It's not just about having money to bury somebody. It's about giving those who are left behind an opportunity to heal, to grieve, to reinvest that money, to be able to live and not have to struggle financially. Yeah, that Social Security check ain't enough to build wealth with. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. But when a family, let's say if it's a family of four, all right? If a family of four loses the primary breadwinner, now that family has become a family of three. Now one person is financially responsible for everything, even though they may have bought the house as a couple, right? Although they may have got new cars as a couple, they paid for trips as a couple, right? They got into debt as a couple. Now, all of that is falling on the one surviving spouse and the two children that's left. So that one surviving spouse is going to be in a financial conundrum because the mortgage was $3,000. That was enough for both incomes, but now it's just one income. And if there's just enough coverage to bury the loved one that has passed on, the surviving spouse and the children, the widows, are in a totally different financial situation. They cannot keep that same lifestyle up. When people are out there talking about generational wealth, this and blah, 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 blah. Like, if you are not talking about life insurance, like you're missing a major component, right? We can talk about a lot of stuff. It's cute to be a realtor. Let me be real. It's fabulous to be a tax professional. It's amazing to be a credit repair specialist. Like, when we talk, it's so impressive to be a financial advisor. But when somebody speaks about being a life insurance agent, people are like, oh, that's just life insurance. The very thing that's going to give your family millions of dollars if it's structured properly, and if you pass away, and if you become ill, you can access hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you've had an appointment with me, if you work with me, at any point in time, you know I love this video. There's a video of a woman. She's a Black woman. She's 33 years old. She is a nurse, and her husband is a lawyer. Now, I hope they got scholarships to go to college. I hope their parents had $1 million baby plan to pay for college. But if they did not, they have student loans, they have a mortgage, they have car notes, they have all these things that they are financially responsible for. They had 4 children. The 33-year-old mother who was pregnant was diagnosed with cancer. And because she had a life insurance policy, she was able to pull over $300,000 from her life insurance policy to cover medical expenses, to keep the family financially afloat as she recovered and healed from cancer. This queen is living. She's a cancer survivor, and all of her children and her husband have life insurance. What if they didn't have that life insurance? What if they didn't have the accelerated living benefits? What if before 1964, she wouldn't have been able to get $300,000 while she's living from a life insurance policy because of an accelerated living benefit rider? So happy Black History Month, people. Happy Black History Month. Black history is American history. This is not just for Black people. This is for all people in the U.S. because I want us to understand that the way that we think sometimes it's because of conditioning, right? We're conditioned to think that way. I challenge you this month to continue to do your research. Continue to do your research. Continue to watch my lives because I will be going live all these days in this month, speaking about things that you may not have known. I'm going to give you a Black History moment in Black History Month because I am Black history. I am excited and proud and honored to say that in my network of 15,000 life insurance professionals, over 15,000 life insurance professionals, last year I ranked number 22. In the midst of healing, in the midst of having my own things that I had to go through, in the midst of building my coaching program, in the midst of promoting and launching my conference and my gala. The Attract Abundance Conference and Gala will be back in October of 2026. You can get your tickets at attractabundanceconference.com. Okay. In the midst of doing that, in the midst of saying, you know what, I'm going to travel more. I traveled to 7 cities last summer alone. I took the longest flight I've ever taken. And that was to Dubai last year. It was amazing. I did that because of my life insurance license. In the midst of doing all those things, I'm number 22 in my network. Am I perfect? No. Do I have a long way to go? Yes. But I'm on a mission. I am on a mission because the more I read, the more I study, the more I pay attention, the more I get into rooms where most people don't look like me, I'm actually noticing things. And I'm noticing that a lot of things that we experience is based on our history. So I want to again say, happy Black History Month. I am Black history. You are Black history. we have the opportunities to get more, to achieve more. I can even reach more people thanks to technology, right? Using my platform to share this information has helped so many people within the last 12 hours. My DMs are blowing up. I have a particular group that I made a post in, and people are like, oh my goodness, I never knew this. People of all races are saying, oh my goodness, I never knew this. Yes, you need to know this. And you need to understand that it is our duty as financial professionals, as financial consultants, to educate people and not just say, oh, if you don't have $250,000, I don't want to work with you. That's not how I operate in my practice. If you have $200 or $200 million, I want to sit with you. I want to talk to you. I want to educate you. You can always learn something from everybody. And I thank you for watching this live. And I hope that you learned something while watching. So if you found this live to be, or this video to be educational, inspirational, or motivational, please put that word in the comment section. If you have listened to this live and you are curious to see if you're able to get more coverage, or you have family members that you want to get covered, please reach out to me. You can send me a direct message. You could go to TNA Financial Group and book a call, or you can simply send me a text, 903-224-6151. 903-224-6151. Thank you so much for watching my live. Again, my name is Dr. Terry Alford. I'm known as the Women's Wealth Strategist, and I specialize in helping business owners build wealth and retire wealthy. I hope, attract abundance and retire wealthy. Well, I help you build it too. So I thank you again for watching this video. I hope you all have an amazing week and an incredible month. Have a fabulous February. Adios.